Israel-Hamas war, there seems to be no end in sight for de-escalation. Israeli army has claimed that it breached a blast door at the end of the Hamas tunnel underneath Gaza's Al-Shifa hospital, where Israel alleges the terror group operates a key command center. Behind the breached blast doors, soldiers have discovered an air-conditioned hideout room and a bathroom as well. IDF has also located 2 additional tunnel shafts near the hospital. So we're looking at much over a month since this war between Israel and Hamas began. And though Israel has right now observed 4 days ceasefire in exchange for 50 hostages, they are still continuing with their surgical strikes. And those are the videos that are coming on our screens there of the surgical strike operations, showing that many of the civilian buildings that are used and doubled up as Hamas hideouts, one of which is that very area there where we're seeing significant movement. The release of hostages under the temporary truce between Israel and Hamas will begin Friday. In fact, it's said that by tomorrow that process is due to begin, but in the meanwhile, the surgical strikes continue. Now, Israel and Hamas have agreed for a ceasefire only to ensure that at least 150 Palestinian prisoners are released by Israel and 50 of Israeli hostages that have been taken in by Hamas are let go of. 4 days of ceasefire to be observed starting tomorrow.
And then you can see the tunnel shop. You're entering the room. Okay, you can see the board. It's like a classroom inside a house. You have the warriors here. Our warriors here are working on the tunnel shop, and then you can see the tunnel shop. It was covered with the floor. We had to remove the floor and understand this tunnel shop. Now we're going down inside the tunnel shop. Just imagine how people are building tunnels underneath a home in a room that has a classroom. And here you can see we're entering into the tunnel. And the tunnel goes and goes. And then you can see the structure that we already seen of the staircase, a spiral staircase going down into the tunnel that we saw outside the Shifa hospital. And this direction also brings us to areas which is different from the Shifa hospital, meaning one direction goes to the Shifa hospital, other directions go to different places, different location where the terrorists can move using the safe haven, the human shield of the hospital, the human shield of those regular houses, providing them shelter, held by civilians, and they choose it in the most barbaric and cynic way. In a room, they use it in a room that should have provided teaching for children. This is their choice. This is what we're fighting. You see, those are classes. It's room that has a class. These are classes. People are being educated here, and the tunnel goes outside from a house who meant to give teaching for children. So they deliberately build the tunnels in the places they know it will be the most covered and, I'm sorry to say, cynical way. I'm human. Using children being learning inside a house.
This is the Qatari complex above me. We see the wiring going through it. It's pretty easy to get down. We went into the tunnel. Right now we're going under the Qatari compound. It's very dark. The walls are moist. There are multiple rooms here that we're opening. This appears to be a bathroom. Another room with an AC. The wiring to that AC helped the combat fighters realize that there's a tunnel here. And if we're moving on, walking down that tunnel, now we know that this connects to the network of tunnels that Hamas holds in Gaza. Underneath sensitive spots like hospitals, holding the civilians of Gaza hostage and abusing their right to medical treatment, to human rights, and to any base human right that they have.